7. Ooh, it's nice. Excuse me. Hey y'all. Hey everybody. Happy Wednesday. Please, as you come in, hit the like button. That helps keeps us in the algorithm, and it's a free way to support the channel. We appreciate you being here because we got stuff to talk about. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 10K, and it would really be helpful if you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. As I promised, I will be dropping the link in the chat tonight. I'm not sure if you guys want to come up or not, but I will be dropping the link in the chat. I choked myself out before I got on here. So. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing? Go ahead and hit the like button for me. Let's get the likes up. All right. So let me get the link in the chat. We're going to start out with a little bit of Funky Dineva and Tamar. So, excuse me. The link is out there. All right, so let's go ahead and let me find what I need to find. All right.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Harlem. How you doing? I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm good.
Good. All right, you guys. So we got a lot to talk about. Did you get to watch court today?
I watch here and there.
Okay. Well, let's get started. I want to start with Tamar and Funky Dineva and the whole Mendici whole debacle here. So late last night, Tamar post a video and a trailer of her new EP that's going to drop, a little short movie that's going to drop, and who is in it? Of course, Funky Dineva. So almost a week ago, Tamar, as we said last night, she said she woke up in a pool of blood and her nose was messed up or something. She was missing 4 teeth. She lost her mobility. She does not know what happened. A friend woke her up. She's in the hospital. So then before the trailer came out last night, a video came out with her dressed in a black gown and singing "She Can't Wait to Be Able to Tell Us," whatever it was. So it's all just being kind of weird. This whole thing just being kind of weird. But Funky Dineva is in his feelings and he's feeling the kind of way that Tamar has done what she did, right? So at that point, when she dropped the EP, my thoughts was, did you even like get hurt? Are you even in the hospital? Did this even happen? And so anyway, fast forward, Funky Dineva responded and he went at her because he was getting before like this all dropped, he was getting hit with, what have you done to Tamar? You need to tell us what you did, what's going on with Tamar. He was like, they was just Tamar and him crazy. And he was like, he ain't did nothing to Tamar, but he was silently in the background text messaging Tamar and was like, Tamar, like this is what's happening now, what's going on. So whenever he wanted to talk about what was going on, she never responded. But he was like, but whenever like maybe he wanted to talk, like when she wanted to talk about like the video dropping and him being in it or whatever, then she started responding. So she only was responding to what she wanted to respond. So he was feeling a kind of way because he said that if you saw that all that other stuff, then you saw me saying, hey Tamar, this is getting crazy, you need to say something. So she responded to, she had text messaged him back and she was like, that she was sorry, that they could apologize later, they can make up later. But like she wanted to keep going with whatever this is, if this is a PR stunt, whatever this is that she's doing. And he was like, he wanted to talk about what people are saying about him because it's no longer funny. It's no longer fun and games with him. So basically, sorry, oh shoot. So basically, he she after Funky went in on her today, like he went in on her. He let her know, he was like, I'm finna tell everything, I'm finna tell it all because you could have told me, you could have said something, you could have took up for me. Instead, people are saying I'm not being your friend, but really in reality, you're not being my friend because you're not coming out saying nothing. She comes out with a post today that said that she really loves him, that's really her friend, whatever. But she didn't know none of this was going on because she was in the hospital. I don't believe that because I believe she had her phone, like he said, in her hand the whole time. You got a whole new EP coming out. So you're not watching to see how people are responding or anything. So whether you was in the hospital or not, you were looking at your phone and you kind of knew what was going on. And that's just my opinion, allegedly. And don't get me wrong. Like I do like Tamar. I really like her music. I'm one of the fans that will listen to her music. And but it was just, if this was all a stunt for PR and to get attention or whatever, then I think it's really foul. And I really even think that she disrespected her fans by doing that. This is my opinion. I feel like that when people, it was on purpose that it got out that her and Mendices was together messing around behind Yandy's back. It was also on purpose that it got out that Yandy followed them to her house. Like I think all that was on purpose for this whole thing to drop, only to drop to find that he was her leading man in her video, her trailer, whatever. And I also can see Funky Dineva's side from it when he was like, dang, I'm in the whole video. Like, couldn't you have told me what you was doing? Maybe I would have went along with it, but you didn't say nothing. You still ain't saying nothing. So he went in. Hey, Montana. So he went in on her. She responds, said, I'm just getting out the hospital. I don't know what's going on. But do you really believe that Tamar did not know what's going on? I don't believe that. I believe that she really knew what was going on. What do you guys think? What you think, Carmen?
See, I'm kind of conflicted. I want to believe that something may have happened, but then I want to believe that it was all a publicity stunt because I just don't understand how you could put something up like that saying that you was in a pool of blood and missing teeth and all of that. I kind of wanted to believe that something had happened to her. I just don't want to believe that all of that is a publicity stunt. But like you say, conveniently, all of the information got leaked.
Yep.
Mendices and her was supposed to be dealing with each other. Yandy followed them to the house. Funky Dineva was involved. It's like it all conveniently was leaked. And then she's saying she was in the hospital, but then every day you put in little things in your story. Like I told you the other day, she was talking about
Yep.
what nail color she should choose for her nails.
Yep. Yep.
So if you're in the hospital, that's why I'm like, what is really going on? Like maybe Tamar needs some real help.
Yep. I mean, if you in the hospital for something as serious as what she was saying, to the point that she almost was not with us anymore, then how are you posting all these other things? How did your trailer conveniently at that time of night last night drop? How did all that happen? And all the talk of the streets was about her and Mendici, that she was getting close to Mendici, that she was messing with this woman's husband, that, all the stuff that was said in the trailer she dropped, right? So that's why, like, if something happened, like, we want to know that it happened so that we're not out here cheering you on and, and praying for you and saying, we hope you get better, if nothing really ever happened. Like, there's a lot of other things that you could have did for a PR stuff to market that, right? But you chose to do that. And so we don't know that it really happened. What we are now, you got us side-eyeing the fact that if something even really happened. And so it's really hard to believe if something happened to her. And then also, if you are in the hospital picking colors for your nails and all that, you couldn't behind the scenes respond to Funky Dineva and just at least tell him what's going on, at least as his friend. Like, you didn't even have to let us know you was okay in hospital. Nothing. You didn't have to let us know that. But you was hanging out with this man, and he caught flack for that. He caught a lot of flack for that. And that's all his point was, is that I needed you as my friend to step up to the plate for me whenever I was getting, because they came for Funky. So I get it. And there's no way that you're posting all of these things, all this stuff is dropping, even if as a celebrity you have somebody posting for you, they see it. And I'm sure if they see it, they're communicating with you, and you are letting them know what you want to be posted, if it was somebody posting for you. So either way, I feel like you can't come out here and say you ain't know what was going on, because I feel like she did. Everybody in their mama knew what was going on and what was at least being said about Funky, about her, about Mendices, about everything. They said and then remember, they said she was going to be in a movie. And I said, well, that's kind of strange, because if Tamar was going to be in a movie, Tamar will be letting us know that she going to be in a movie. I said it was nothing said about a movie, but people are saying she's going to be in a movie. Then here comes the Mendices thing. Then here's Funky and her out together, So like you said, it just seems strange that it just conveniently just all was out there. And then all of a sudden last night, at that time of night, you drop your video on your trailer. So do I think?
Yeah, but Funky Dineva came on live earlier this morning and talked all about it. All he wanted was her to say he had nothing to do with
Oh,
whatever was going on. She posted it and then she took it back down. So like leave it up if you really truly genuine about everything.
leave it up.
Leave it up, let everybody see, and you put it in your story. In the story, it disappears after a certain amount of time anyway. She should have put it up as a post.
Like, I just don't get what her motive, what is going on with Tamar. Like, what is really going on? Like, for a publicity stunt, I just don't think that was the way to do it. To have people worried, like, is she gonna be all right? Like, what happened to her? And trying to dig in and then say that Funky Dineva people were saying he did something to her. Like, that's crazy. And that could hurt his brand, for people saying that about him, that when it didn't really happen, when all it took, you posted everything else. Why you couldn't just post it and say, this has nothing to do with Funky. Funky knows none of this. Why y'all going at him? Like, have your friends back. It was all friend this, friend that in the text messages. Have your friends back. And then she just didn't. So I don't know. But that's that on that. Like, I don't know. So moving right along, I just wanted to put out here really quick that Missy Elliott just did a settlement on a lawsuit from the 1990s on a song that there was a studio that this one owner man studio, he owned the studio, and he was claiming that he co-wrote a lot of her songs back then. And so they were going back and forth, battling back and forth, and they finally, just before they was going to have to turn it over to a jury and go to trial, they finally made a settlement. So we're not sure what that settlement is. Let me see if it's posted yet. uh, yeah, here it is. All right, so it says Missy Elliott hadn't been, where's my glasses, did I bring them in here? All right. So it says Missy Elliott had been dealing with the legal dispute since Terry Williams first brought the case in 2018, another 2018 case. Missy Elliott has finally reached a settlement in her longtime legal dispute with music producer Terry Williams, who alleged to have co-written many of her biggest hits from the 1990s without proper credit. While neither side made the exact term of the deal public, Elliott's attorney, Mike Traubin, has since provided a bit of insight into the agreement. No money was paid. No money was paid in connection with any of Terry Williams's claims, the last remnants of which were dismissed. Turban, the last remnants of which were dismissed. Traubin said in an email to Billboard. He did note that they paid a small sum to purchase beats created by William that Elliott used in her own songs. Missy's writings in her notebook were returned back to her, along with all her music that had been in storage, he added. Williams originally brought his lawsuit against Elliott back in 2018. He specifically alleged that he and Elliott co-wrote four songs off Sisters' 1994 album, For All the Sisters Around the World, but she left him off the songwriting credits. Elliott began her career as a member of the short-lived R&B girl group. The album marked their only full-length release. In response to Williams' lawsuit, Elliott claimed that he didn't contribute a single lyric to any of the songs in question. With neither side budging in the dispute, it appeared that the case was going to be heard to a jury, head to a jury trial before news of the settlement. In addition to Elliott, Williams also named Timberland as well as Elektra, Atlantic Records, Warner Music Group, and Reservoir Media in the lawsuit. Williams has previously alleged that he deserved credit on Aaliyah's song Heartbroken for her 1996 album, One in a Million. However, Judge Nitza I. Quinones Alejandro dismissed the claim. So the whole entire claim has been dismissed. Terry Williams claimed that he had written some songs on Missy Elliott's records back in 1990s, and they said it's just not true, and a judge has dismissed the entire case. So she didn't really settle, with money financial wise. I never knew she was in court, like she was in the middle of a lawsuit.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so that's Missy Elliott. I'm glad that she was able to settle, like, in Cardi B's. We'll talk about that in a minute. So P. Diddy news. You guys, P. Diddy had a win today. There was a actual battery charge against him in a civil court that has been totally dismissed by a judge because the judge said the clock has ran out, that she missed the statute of limitation. No, it wasn't a she, it was he. It was the he that filed against Diddy, and it has been dropped. I'm trying to find it so I can give you guys more information on that. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard about it. I think it was the guy from I think it was Vegas.
Yeah. So, um, let me get to it. Actual battery civil lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. A civil lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs has been dismissed. The actual battery suit was filed in New York in February. Where's the rest?
Because I forgot who reported it. I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, it's here. All right. It says a California man who sued Sean Diddy Combs for allegedly rugging and actually assaulting him in 2015 has been dealt a legal setback. New York County Supreme Court Judge Leslie A. Stroth on August 26, which was yesterday, issued a ruling granting Combs' legal team's request to dismiss John Doe's February 3rd complaint. The allegations are ultimately under New York law. Stroth wrote in the ruling, which was obtained by USA Today on August the 27th. The New York state law, in effect at the time of the alleged conduct in 2015, provided a 5-year statute of limitation. So that's over. Strauss ruling said, although the statute was later amended in 2019 to extend the period to 20 years, courts have held the civil practice law and rule is not retroactive. So he couldn't go back and do that past. So it had to be from 2019 forward. So Doe's lawyer, Tony Busby, said that this is not the end of the line for the client. These cases can be filed in California or New York. New York has a saving statute by the New York court says it New York statute, but the New York court says it doesn't apply. Busby said in a statement to USA Today, "We will thus sue in California. This is procedural issue, not a dispositive one. Any suggestion that this is some kind of victory for Combs is ignorant." However, Strauss' ruling determined the action is untimely under both New York and California law and thus must be dismissed as to all defendants. California Assembly Bill 2777 determined that until 2006, accusers may receive revived claims seeking to recover damages suffered as a result of a sexual assault that occurred on or after January 1st, 2009, that would otherwise be barred solely because the statute of limitations has or had expired. Doe, described in the February lawsuit as a singer, had sued Combs for actual battery. He allegedly had a bargaining business relationship with the Bad Boy record founder and claimed the alleged assault took place at an after party in Los Angeles when he was 23 years old. Combs had purportedly promised the young artist a record deal with Bad Boy and studio time with Combs himself. In addition to derailing his career trajectory, the alleged assault left Doe with a series of personal damages, such as pain and suffering, mental anguish, physical impairment, and emotional torment. At the time of the lawsuit's filing, Combs' attorney said in a statement in USA Today, Mr. Combs and his legal team have full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs never actually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. This disgraced Grammy-winning rapper and producer has staunchly denied allegations brought forward in approximately 80 SA lawsuits, which detail alleged incidents dating back in 1990. Most of the cases are ongoing, though some have been dismissed for reasons that include accusers being unwilling to name themselves. Combs, who has who was arrested in September 2024, remains jailed at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn following his trial on charges of ex-trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. In July, the rapper was found guilty of two charges of transportation to engage in prostitution and acquitted him of the remaining offenses. He is scheduled for sentencing in New York federal court on October the 3rd. So that's that. So whoever this John Doe is, um, the complaint has been dismissed. And the judge's reason is for the statute of limitations. So it didn't give his name. I thought I saw his name somewhere earlier.
No, that one he didn't have his name. Mm-mm.
Okay. So anyway, while they are saying that it is dismissed, Tony Busby is saying we'll just go to California and file it. But just what we read here says the judge said in the state of California and New York, it can't be tried. So we'll see what happens in California. Not sure how far that will go. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. Hit the like button on your way in.
Yeah, because I think New York had the victim, the gender victim, whatever it was called, and California has that same act. But I don't remember if there's all of those lawsuits have to be filed by this year or it's next year. I think they still have time to file lawsuits in California.
Yeah. But according to the judge, though, that's what kind of threw me off, is that they cannot be tried in California or New York after this, and for whatever his reasons was. So I'm not really sure if California is going to prove to be something different. But what we do know is that at this 10 seconds, it is dismissed.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what will take place. Let me see. Okay. So that's P. Diddy news, all that we have right now at this time. So let's move on to the Cardi B trial. You guys, I believe that by Thursday, because Monday is a holiday, that there will be a verdict on Monday, because the judge has read the instructions to the jurors, and Monday is a holiday, so they're not going to come back to court till Tuesday. I'm not sure if they'll be on tomorrow or not, but he's saying Tuesday that they'll be back, and the jurors will start deliberation, and they'll be able to have a verdict. So let me tell y'all what I learned today. So they started back with Cardi B, and this lawyer on the prosecution side, like, he tried to trick her up. Cardi don't speak. I mean, she speak English, but not just that well, right? And so he was trying to throw her off, and saying, you would get on the, no, that wasn't her, that, trying to tell her that because they were chest to chest like this, because Cardi B said she's never hit, no one ever exchanged hits, no one ever spit, none of that ever happened. She's making it up. And so he was like, well, let me go talk to her. By the time they go talk to her, she had taken a handful of something, and she was supposed to be OD'd out. And so they get her to the hospital. And so when we thought last night that Dr. Finke was deceased, Dr. Finke is well and live, and him and the former assistant in that medical office testified today. One is the Black lady, young girl. She got on the stand and she testified, and she said that she was basically saying, the reason that she ran out is because she was sitting at her desk and she could hear it like they were standing inside plain as day, only to come to find out that he had rolled over on him or something. And that, I don't know if that's part of it, but that he I lost my train of thought. But that he, what was I saying? What was I saying, Harlem?
You were talking about the I guess the receptionist. You said the young lady she was testifying.
Yeah, so she testified, and so what happened? Okay, Cardi B. Let me continue with Cardi B. So he asked her. He was trying to drill Cardi B, and y'all know Cardi B's mouth. So she held her composure as long as she could, and she started arguing back with the prosecuting attorney, because what he was saying for real didn't make sense. Like, can you lift your arms today? Could you lift your arms back then? What else did he ask her? I need you to say that in her face. Say in her face that nobody touched nobody. Like, she was like, you want me to literally say it in her face? And so Cardi's lawyer was like, Judge, we need some kind of control over here because he's arguing with Cardi up and down, even when she answers the question. And that's not right. So the judge was frustrated too. So he got with Cardi. I mean, he got with uh, Imani and her team, Imani Ellis and her team. It was like, y'all need to stop that. Like, to the lawyer, like, ask the questions the right way, because everything you're asking, you already asked that yesterday, and we're not going to repeat that. But every time again, that most of the time that Cardi's lawyer said objection, then he would say sustain, which means that she didn't have to answer some of the questions. He said that, I mean, so then Cardi B got through that. He was trying to make it seem like she did something other than she did. That what didn't she get hit on the table or something? She asked, why are they not able to come to the fact that Cardi B, for me, why are they not able to come to the fact that this trial should be over because they don't have any evidence? And so the girl came up. So after Cardi and the lawyer argued back and forth, to the point judge had to say, listen, we're not here to argue with her. We are here to ask the questions. You answer the questions. And if you can't do that, then we need to stop or whatever. So they took a break. They got through it. Cardi B was not having it today. He said, tell me exactly your exact words, what you said to her. And he said, she was like, I said, B, F you, get the F out of my face. Why are you recording me? And all that stuff. Same thing she said yesterday. And he was like, we already talked about this yesterday. So we're not revisiting that. Do we have more witnesses? Because when they opened, they start arguing about the witness because, as I said, I thought Dr. Finke was deceased. He is not. And they found the receptionist that was there in 2018 that ran out. So her name was, I can't remember her name. But anyway, they found her. So they put her on the stand first, and she came out. And so the prosecution's attorney was trying to say the only reason that this girl is testifying for Cardi B is because of who Cardi B is, right? He said, so why are you here today? She said, oh, it don't, like, basically, I can't say word for word, but basically, oh, it's not that I'm here for Cardi B. I'm here to tell the truth. And my truth is this. When I was sitting in my desk, I heard all the ruckus. And when I heard all the ruckus, I went to, and kind of opened the door to see where it was. And she said she looked down the hall, and Cardi was backed up to the wall, and this big bodyguard was standing over her. And they was kind of like standing like this, chest to chest, maybe even touched a little bit. And she said, and when she saw that, and she saw it was the security guard, she was like, this is totally unprofessional. Like, she got in the between them, and she said she couldn't hardly get nothing out because they was both arguing back and forth and cussing each other out really bad. And she said, but she got in between, and she kept trying to get the security guard, you need to go back downstairs to your post, because why are you up here? Because in a professional setting, you're not supposed to be here arguing with the patients that come in and out of here. You're supposed to be protecting the building, making things safe, but you're causing the altercation. And she was like, and she's like, she got hit. While neither Cardi nor the plaintiff got hit, the receptionist got a scar on her face, and she got hit on one of her shoulders. She was out there for about 3 seconds, and then Dr. Finke came out because he heard the loud noise too. So Dr. Finke also said, wait a minute, let me back up with this receptionist. They said, did you ever see Cardi B hit this lady or strike this lady? She said, no. Did you ever see the lady strike Cardi or hit Cardi in any way? She said, no. Did you ever see Cardi B spit on the plaintiff? She said, no. And did you see the lady do anything to Cardi? She said, no. They were only thing they were doing is they was pointing at each other. They was screaming loud, cussing each other out so loud that it sounded like I was still in my office. That's how loud it was. And she said, but no, she said, I was frustrated because at that time, my back, when I got in between, my back was towards Cardi B and I was looking at her. Well, when you looked her in her face, did she have any scratches? No. Was she bleeding anywhere? No. Did she look like she? No, she did not. None of that happened. What we were frustrated at is the fact that she's up here harassing our patient, whether it was Cardi B, whoever, she's harassing our patient with her phone. And she said, I did see the phone in her hand. She said, I finally, when Dr. Finke came out, she said that's when the security guard kind of settled down and they finally got her to the elevator and off on her way and got Cardi in. Dr. Finke came out and he kind of said the same thing. He said what he saw happening, he went over there and said he don't even think the bodyguard heard what he was saying to him because she was so loud and so aggressive and trying to fight over them and cuss. They was cussing each other out. And he was telling her, this is your job. You need to go back downstairs. And he said, I don't even think she heard me say that because of the simple fact she was screaming so loud. He said, but eventually I finally got her attention. It was like, you need to go downstairs right now. You need to go because you're on duty. You shouldn't be acting like this. And Cardi, you go in my office. So Cardi said at that point, she and the receptionist went on in the office and they put her in her room to be seen. And then he got her on the elevator and then they didn't see her no more. He said in all of his years from 2018 to now being in that building, there has never been a security guard that caused an altercation like that. He says that he does make special arrangements for celebrities to come in on special times so that the celebrities are not being noticed, that they have that private time, because if people see them, then it'll be a bunch of chaos. So he said, I have over my years, I have seen a lot of celebrity patients, and none of this has ever happened. A security guard has never done what she's done. Cardi B had on a hoodie, had it over her head, and they was like, well, what did you have it over your head? Like, why did you have it over your head? She said, well, y'all know Cardi B. First of all, it could have been a bad day. She said, first of all, I did not want to be noticed. It could have been a bad hair day. I didn't have my makeup on. I didn't want to be seen. That's why I had it on, and I have the right to do that. And she did. And so anyway, they got her off. Dr. Finke said that when he got her off, he went back into his office and he actually did see Cardi B and took care of her. And he said right after that, he called the building administrator and told the building administrator what had happened and that security guard needed to be fired. So if you guys remember, Miss Ellis got on the stand and said she believes Cardi had her fired, but the doctor got on there and was like, no, I said she needs to be fired because she's not protecting the patients. The patients that come and go in here need to be protected. And so Cardi B, that's another win for Cardi because he did not, Cardi's not the one that called and got her fired. She said they asked the receptionist, did Cardi ever call you after that? She said, no, not until lately when it was time to go, to be, because she got sued, but she didn't call me. Well, did the plaintiff ever call you? So the plaintiff called her like 3-4 months later and got through to the phone and was asking her to come and testify. And she's like, I told her, well, I don't think I would be a help to you because you were the aggressor. And I can't, if I go to court, it wouldn't help you. So I won't be able to testify for you, because what she saw is that the girl was the aggressor. So she said, Dr. Finke the same way. They tried to reach out to him and he was like, he told them no. And she was like, oh, you told them no because you want to keep your celebrity clients coming. He said, that's not it at all. He said, I told her no because I needed to tell the truth. And she was not doing what she was supposed to do. So they went through all of that. And at the end of it, Dr. Finke was the last witness. And the judge read the instructions to the jury. And after that, everything they're not supposed to do over this long holiday weekend, They're going to come back in Tuesday, and I think they will start deliberating on Tuesday, and we'll have an answer. But where Cardi, now none of these people were in the room where Cardi was like, I didn't touch her. It never was a physical altercation. She didn't touch me. I didn't touch her. All of the witnesses said the same thing, that nobody touched anybody in their presence. And immediately when she started hearing the arguments, she went out there. So they couldn't have been arguing for very long before somebody came out. And that's what they both testified to. So I think that on Tuesday, we will have a verdict. Here's the jacked up part about this lawsuit. This girl is suing Cardi B for $24 million for a scratch in the face. $24 million for a scratch in the face that Cardi B obviously didn't do. According to the expert plastic surgeon, was saying that a right-hand person should do it, and that and according to the doctor that was a witness, and according to the reception that was a witness, that neither one of them got touched. And when they saw her face, she didn't have scratches. She didn't have blood on her face. Her nose wasn't scratched. None of that. They were just arguing back and forth. And they all testified to that. So this is why I think Cardi B is going to win her case. What did he say? I saw it on Instagram. What some are not understanding is that, let me see what he's saying. Where we at?
That's beauty. We were talking about Tamar. But I wonder if when this girl got hired as security, like, was it security through the actual building there, or was it a company that contracts to the building? Because did they not tell her that the doctors or whoever in those buildings saw a lot of celebrities? They service celebrities?
So basically, the building administrator now are who hired her on. Now, whether they hire contracts or whatever, the administrator office was on the fourth floor, I believe, and they were on the fifth floor. And I don't know if she was contracted, but she was hired through them, which is why she filed the work claim against them. So I don't know if like that particular office, the administration office, actually works with a temp company, like some do, and then hire them on as a contractor or whatever. But she had done that for 4 years. She had been the security guard there for 4 years. And they said, and the reception says she worked there 7 years, and none of her 7 years had ever happened that she saw security guards not be on duty and cause all that ruckus that she was causing. So I'm not sure to that, but I know that she did go through the administrative office to work for them.
Yeah, because I just wonder, like when they hire you or interview you, they let this company, we have a lot of celebrities that come in and out and are, seen by doctors or whatever. I would
Right.
think they would just give them a heads up.
Right, especially in Beverly Hills, right? You're at the Beverly Hills, and this is a high profile place. And like the doctor said, over his 17 years or however long, he's seen plenty of celebrity, and he's a gynecologist, celebrity women. He said, but celebrity or not, there's other regular people that come in that should be protected. Like they all, whether celebrity or not, they should be protected. And she wasn't protecting that day. She wasn't doing her job the right way to be chasing Cardi B down and recording her like that. So
Right.
So yeah, I don't know if she was or not, but I just feel like all the signs are pointing to that this girl is not going to get $24 million out of Cardi.
And then my other question, let me ask you, because wasn't it said early on that Cardi called her the N word?
Yes. So, yep. Cardi, this what the girl's been alleging all this time. She called her N-word, called her poor, body shamed her, and all this. They said there was a lot of cussing. They called, and Cardi even admitted, I called her B. I told her F you B. And she said, but never did I call her an N-word. And so the doctor said, yes, they were screaming and cussing each other out, but never was that Nigger word. The lawyer spelled it out. Never was that word used from any one of them. They were just calling each other B's and saying F you to each other really loud, but never did that word get used. So Cardi B said no. And the two witnesses said no, that it happened. And anything other than that, whenever the doctor and the receptionist wasn't there for that short time, they said the whole thing lasted no longer than about 50 seconds, right? Almost a minute. But the whole time that that they were out there in the hallways alone, really that's just hearsay, because there was no witnesses and no cameras. But the true witnesses that really saw something, that even if Cardi scratched her prior to them coming out, which is what they were trying to say, then her scratch was like that, then the receptionist would have seen that her face, something was wrong with her face. But she said nobody had any scratches, nobody had any blood, nobody's skin was torn, nobody touched nobody really in her presence either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hi,
that's
Beauty.
crazy.
Yeah, so it's crazy. And I think that Tuesday it'll be over. I think it'll be over. And I don't think she's going to get $24 million. And even say that she won, right? $24 million because you got scratched in the face. That's crazy. And they're saying, because of it, she's caused her to be a different person, her anxiety, her this, her that. But none of the doctors that got on the stand to testify to any anxiety or any of the things that she's alleging. So
Yeah, because that's why I asked if it was ever said if Cardi actually did use the N word, because it then becomes something different.
right. And so far the answer is no. But
Yeah.
but the girl is saying she did, but everybody that could actually, so you have a credible witness when the witness sees something with their own eyes. Not something I heard, but what I saw with my own eyes. And what they saw with their own eyes is Cardi B was back to the wall and the girl was over her and she stood tall over her. And Cardi B basically was saying, like, she was kind of held me hostage. I couldn't even get past her. She wouldn't even let me past her until the doctor came out and said, go to my office. And that's when the receptionist said, when he said that, that was our cue that we could get out, and let him handle the rest. And they was like, well, where's your bodyguard? Because ain't it that if you were somewhere and you were getting hurt, or there was an altercation that came up, or something that you were fear of your life, that you could call your bodyguard. She said it didn't last. What I'm telling you is it didn't even last long enough. By the time I talked to him, it was all over. And all I said to him was, you're not going to believe what just happened. Meet me downstairs with the door open when I come out. He was downstairs with the door open, the car door open, ready for her to come out and get in the car. So nothing that the prosecution or Ms. Ellis have presented makes me believe that she has a chance, even a half a chance at winning this lawsuit. I think Cardi B's going to be fine. Yeah. So that's all I have on that. And I wanted to talk a little bit about P. Diddy, which we talked about. And again, P. Diddy's sentencing is coming up, so we'll get back into that. Let me see if there's anything that I left out. No, I think I told the whole story, from today. They did kind of argue about the witnesses again this morning or whatever. They started with Cardi B to finish her up. So they had to bring some of the witnesses in out of order. So Cardi B may get on the stand one more time. I doubt it. But they had to come out of order because this lady had kids. So she had to make sure she was on time to get her kids. So they had to place her in there or something. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think this is going to be, Cardi's going to take a dub on this one. Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate y'all being here. Harlem, anything else going on in these streets? There's a lot going on. But Those are the two things that I had tonight that I had really had information on.
I
Other
don't think I saw anything else going on.
Yeah, nothing really going on. I saw, other than Missy Elliott's, lawsuit, that was new to me. That I didn't even know she was going, but now she does not have to go to jury trial, so that's a good thing that they were able to settle there. They are L.A. Reid is still in the news in the streets here, saying that he still has no representation and he's looking crazy. But I don't. That's all the information I have. No real information on that, so I don't want to talk about it if I can't really give what I know. Hey, Rachel. Cardi B was so funny today. She was funny today. But she didn't come and play. She was like, what? Like, how do you know that? She was like, with my eyes, duh. And she was like, you want me to just in her face, tell her that in her face. She was rolling her eye like she wasn't playing today. She was funny. She was funny. But Cardi B don't talk really good English, and so she kind of get hung up. So she had to pause and think about what she's going to say. But I think that she responded appropriately today to everything, and she stood on business. She stood on everything that she said yesterday, day before. It don't matter. I know what happened. That's why I told them to run the tape. But this building didn't have no cameras. Why y'all don't have no cameras? Because you got a security guard. The security guard is supposed to be protecting, and yet the security guard is. And I think that I had on here. Let me see if we can get it. Let me see if I can get this on real quick because she was funny at some point. If I can share my screen. Harlem, will you put the actual while I put this up, put the actual disclaimer up if you got it?
Sure, 1 second.
Thank you. Hey y'all, thank y'all for being here. I'm gonna play a little bit of Cardi B's testimony if I can get the funnies because it was funny, but you guys can hear some of it just real quick and then we can go. I won't keep you long. But I appreciate y'all being here. Don't forget to hit the like on your way in. I appreciate everybody showing up tonight. I do. And it's a free way to support us by just hitting the like button. But also become a member of this channel. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. While I get this, Harlem's going to put it up, share my screen.
Apologize for anything that you did that day.
Objection, relevance,
Something.
argument.
You
Objection,
Assisting. Are you aware that your security guard spoke to Imani Ellis in the lobby shortly after this incident? Are you aware of that?
Maximization.
Oh.
I'm not aware of that. He didn't tell me he talked to her.
Okay. Are you aware that your security guard, Karan Newton, on the day of the incident, apologized to Miss Ellis on your behalf?
Objection.
Assisting. Did your security guard tell you that he apologized to Miss Ellis on your behalf at any time?
Objection. Asked and answered. Argumentative. Lacks foundation.
Assisting. Have you ever been assaulted and battered in your life?
Objection, Your Honor.
Assistant
Have you ever been abused in your life?
counsel, if you're out of questions, you can pass the question.
Did you know that by your actions, you took away the feeling of safety for Imani Ellis?
All right, counsel,
Yes, Your
are
Honor.
you done?
I have a few more questions.
Have them be fact-based.
Yes, Your Honor. And do you agree that this incident, which we're talking about, why we're all here today, is occurred 7.5 years ago? Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, and that's 2,741 days ago,
Objection.
based on my math.
Relevance, Your Honor.
Sustained.
How do you remember all of these details that you gave us from 2,741 days ago?
Objection as to the days.
Overruled.
You can answer.
I mean, I remember like the basics. I don't remember like the whole. I remember the basics. Like it was, but it's not really much to remember.
Yes,
It was
Bad Bunny.
in and out.
Party question. Welcome.
Thing.
All right, and have you ever used your nails to scratch yourself? Like if you get a bug bite, have you ever done that before?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Sustained.
You wanted to cut them out so bad.
Did you have any jewelry on you at the time of the incident, whether it was on your hands or your neck?
Objection as to the answer. Relevance.
Sustained.
When you were in the hallway, did you block Miss Ellis from leaving? Even if it was for 1 second.
No.
Did she block you from leaving?
Yes. She blocked me from moving. She was right in my face. She was right in my face.
Okay, and when you were standing there, were you facing Dr. Finke's office or a different side? You understand the question?
Objection negative.
I withdraw the question. When this whole thing happened, did you start to move around in a circle, or were you standing physically the same spot the whole time?
Objection as to the answer. I think we covered it.
Sustained.
When you say that she was blocking you, were you facing towards Dr. Finke's office? Yes?
Objection as to the answer.
Sustained.
Karan Newton, how long was he your security guard as of the date of the incident? For how long?
Sustained.
Find some questions to answer.
Would you consider yourself a peaceful person?
Objection relevance.
Sustained.
And after you saw Dr. Finke, you spent about 15 minutes with him, you left the building, correct?
Yes.
When you left the building, did you see Imani Ellis as you were exiting?
No.
Did you see your security guard downstairs?
Yes.
He was in the lobby area waiting for you?
As to the answer.
Sustained.
Okay. And when you left the building, you went to the parking lot, or was the car waiting for you outside?
Objection relevance.
Sustained.
Aside from Tiara Malcolm and Dr. Finke and Imani Ellis, who were in that hallway, were there any other people there?
No,
Did any other doctors come up to that floor?
no,
You're sure?
absolutely.
How are you sure?
Objection to her.
Sustained.
When you were in the 5th floor, did anybody come from the stairwell up to hear what happened?
Objection.
If you know, do you know if anyone did?
I apologize. I thought you were done.
I'll withdraw it. I will ask it differently. When you were up there outside the hallway with Imani Ellis, did you see anyone else, whether it was a security guard, another doctor, or someone else, come up from the stairwell, which was close to the elevator area?
Objection. Ask the answer.
Sustained.
I forgot to ask you one thing about when you were chest to chest. Did you ever touch Imani Ellis's face or nose with your finger?
No,
You never touched her nose like this?
no.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, well, so let me take our morning recess. Why don't we start back up at,
So that wasn't really the funnies, but that just showed you right there that every question that he had was so retarded, like Bad Bunny said, that, or was that Rachel? One of them said that everything he said, Cardi B's lawyer said objection, and the judge agreed and said sustain. Like, find some questions. If you want to come in here, just find some real questions. And to respond to you, Montana, she was so he asked her those same questions that he's asking her. He asked her yesterday the same questions, and she like let's just move on with this because it's just redundant. It just makes no sense. I feel like that's prosecuting lawyer. I feel like he knows that this is over. Like they can't win this case. They cannot win this case. And so he's just, I guess, doing his job and continue until they tell him to sit down because he is doing a poor job. Really $24 million for what? Her picture they showed in court. I didn't see. Yes. And when they showed that picture in court, did you see 3 lines, 3 scratches? Because I still have not seen them. Let me see if I can find it. Let me go back.
Yeah, because I saw that picture. It didn't look like there was anything on her face.
No, and then it's kind of puffy, but yeah, because you did plastic surgery for no reason. Let's picture my face in court. There it is. Can I get it up? All right, so let me come back. Share my screen. It wouldn't let me pull it over there, but here it is. It's getting ready to pop up here in a second. I don't know, it's lagged, but it's coming up. So I can't get it bigger than this, I don't think. But that right there that you see is him pointing to her face. Oh, I can't get it bigger. Is that bigger?
No.
Really? Let me see if I can find a better one because this little pointer, remember, he's pointing to her face. But let me see if I can find one that we can get bigger on here. But when they put this picture up, I'm just like, I really was trying to say maybe it is like, because this plastic surgeon was saying there were 3 straight vertical lines, and you could see this and you could see that. Well, probably not. If it was, you can't know more from the surgery you did, because let me remove it. All right, let me see if I can find it. A different one that was on Instagram. I can't find another one. It's the Instagram one. Sorry, y'all. But anyway, so I mean, it's just a lot, and I know some people just don't like Cardi B. I get it, but like, she's gonna win this. There was nothing there, Rachel. Right? Nothing. There was nothing. What doctor does thousands of dollars worth of surgery and hope that she'll win a case? What doctor does thousands of dollars worth of surgery in hopes that she'll win a case? Shaking my head, don't trust a doctor. Right. So basically, this doctor comes in here and was like, he gave it to her on a lien, $15,000, $17,000 total, I think, but for this surgery, and that she could pay me whether she wins or loses the case. So really, they was doing this dependent on her winning the case.
Right.
It just don't even sound right for a doctor, a surgeon to do that, and you don't have that kind of money. Come on. So basically, and everybody she talked to was like, I got into an altercation with Cardi B. This is why. When she went to that, when she filed for workers' comp, that's what it was about. Well, I don't even know if it was about that, but everybody that got on the stand said that she did mention that Cardi B did this to her. Right. So she just knew she was going to win this $24 million. And like I said, win or lose, it still is not worth no $24 million at all. Yeah. So anyway, we get a break from the Cardi B thing till Tuesday, I believe. They'll be back. It makes no sense. Yep. It makes no sense whatsoever. None of it do. And that's why. So he was like, do you remember, even to this doctor and even to the receptionist, and then to Miss Ellis, asked them how do they remember so vivid what happened in 2018. And they were both like, well, first of all, like, if you went in the hall and you saw Cardi B get into it with somebody, you're going to remember that, right? Just because of who she is, first of all. And then they had to talk about it a lot because people were sending lawyers in there to talk about it. Where Miss Ellis couldn't remember, I don't recall. Every other word was she don't recall or she don't remember. So she didn't really remember a lot. But if it's the truth, then you're going to remember some aspects of that you're going to remember, especially if you're trying to win a case. And it was just a lot of I don't remember, I don't recall for her. Anyway, so that's all I had tonight. I just wanted to bring you guys back day 3 on Cardi B. We will be back here tomorrow. Harlem, that's really all tonight, right?
Yeah, I didn't have anything. Mm-mm.
All right. Thank y'all for coming. Again, if you're in here and have not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We would appreciate that. Also, hit the like button on your way out even. It helps us to remain in the algorithm so that we can continue to grow our channel. Again, thank y'all. Y'all have a good night, and we shall see y'all again tomorrow, right back here tomorrow. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.